Hey, I just realized that this game is on sale for another 2 days. I know some of you are probably interested in it, so I'm going to go ahead and put this up ahead of the backlog. Basically what happened is the game was on sale for 15 bucks, all summer sale. But for some reason, as soon as the summer sale ended, like the moment that the sale ended and they went back to the normal store, the game is on sale for another week. Which tells me that, probably like 3 people bought this during the sale, one of which was me. So I wanted to get this out so that people can kind of understand some of the mechanics. There's like no information for this game on the internet at all. So I'm going to do my best here. I will make addendums to this as I get farther in the game and I understand how things work. But basically there's a crafting system. And you just have materials. It's no different than any other hunting game. You have materials and you have to craft the weapon or item with those materials. What's nice is that the game does have some nice, internal resources so that you can figure out how to craft things without having to find a guide, which is good because there are no guides on the internet, so your best resource is going to be the game, unfortunately. So if you select something, like I just crafted this before I left a couple hours ago, you select something, you push right, you can select the material, and you select it. At that point, it will tell you what monster you need to fight, and what it drops. So it's pretty nice of it to have that. A lot of the weapons have different properties and they have different stats, so some of them aren't inherently better than others. Like this one is homing, this one is a shotgun, so on and so forth. So when you enhance something, I don't have any materials right now, but I can show you basically how it works. You have strengthened materials, and you have crafting materials. So you don't want to use your crafting materials, mostly because they provide bonuses. Like, for instance, when I crafted this weapon, I used the lightning and the poison, so I have lightning on the weapon and a poison proc. I don't know how the proc works, but if you want to level it up, what you need to do is you need to use a bunch of these materials. Like, see, I just leveled it up once by using it right there. That will increase the stats. You can see it got +2 in attack and +1 in tech. I think tech is what's used to determine how much you deplete an armor bar. Like I said, there's no information on the stats at all, which I think is really weird. I mean, attack and def are pretty self-explanatory, but the other ones, aside from luck, I have no clue what they do. I'll have to get back to you guys later on. But that's basically the gist of the equipment system. The skill system, they have these kind of presets here. But you can equip everything. Basically, there's blue orbs that you collect on the map. When you go through the map, if you collect those, then you will get more skill capacity. Like right now, I have 49 of 50.16, so I'm 84 away from being able to equip another skill. So you zoom out with L2 or LT, whatever controller you're on. You zoom in with RTs. You'll have to do that to get to whatever you're trying to equip. Each skill seems to take 1 point. So you pretty much just zoom out and then select what you want. Crit def is pretty good. So right now I'm pretty much maxed out. I don't have any more slots for anything. See, sometimes it will tell you the condition to unlock it, and then sometimes they won't. So I don't know why it's like that. I don't know why it's one or the other. So you pretty much will just have to play the game to find out. I'm trying to find one that actually has the conditions so you guys can see it. Here's one, Mastery. One-handed sword attack. So if I get level 4 Sword Mastery, I have to do 5,000 sword attacks. You have to actually make contact with something. You can't just mash a button in a corner like some other games. So it'll take quite a bit of time to get these. That's a pretty good example of how this stuff works. Now, that also applies for your moveset too. If I go up here, I learned these moves by just pretty much just fighting stuff with the sword. So it's not as coherent as it should be. I'm not sure why they don't just tell you where everything is, but if you check back pretty often, I think sometimes it may update. I'm not entirely sure on that. Now at the top, you just notice a mobile game timer. It seems like it's a mobile game timer at start, you know, at first glance, but it actually goes down depending on how many free missions you do. So if you do a free mission a couple times, then it will tell you that there's an urgent one. And when you do that one, you're given a minute to prepare, which doesn't mean anything because the menu will pause whenever you go on any of these other sub-menus. So it doesn't really mean anything. From what I understand, the game tells you that if you die, you know, if you completely wipe on a story mission, you can go back and grind. So I don't even know why it's like that at all. I think it's just to kind of go with the theme of the game, the urgency of the aliens attacking and stuff. So in a way, you are kind of limited to how much you can grind, but I haven't actually wiped on a mission yet, so I don't know exactly what happens, but the game basically tells you that you can grind again. So you notice here, these yellow missions are ones that I've completed. You notice there's a skill bonus, usually one for S ranking something. Sometimes you will have to A rank more than once. Like right here I have Rare Search. I think I got the S rank on the first attempt, but I only did it once, so I need to go back to get that HP plus 5. So the checkboxes tell you how many times you'll have to clear something to get it. So it pays to do some of these. I mean, obviously in the first one, a lot of this stuff's not going to be a big deal, but you can go ahead. Actually, I'll go ahead and I'll go ahead and show how the skill learning system works. So all I have to do is get an A rank. There's also a bunch of blue orbs here, so hopefully I should be able to get another skill as well. Poison proc is working. So if you hold forward and push square, you get a throw, which is basically a free launch. You can't do it on every enemy. So let's see if it gave me the rank. I may be a little too strong for this mission now. There we go. So mission skill complete means that you're effectively done with that mission in terms of unique stuff that you can get from it. You can go back and get the materials if you want. So you go back to your skill tree. There we go, I just earned an attack +2. And I got pretty close to an extra skill point. So it pays to grind. The game is definitely grindy simply because you will have to get this a lot of this stuff more often, or as soon as possible, because otherwise you're going to be really weak later on. So as you can see, doing that little mission depleted it by 10 hours. You don't actually have to wait 10 hours. I don't even know why it depletes it all. I think it's just there for show, or to kind of make the game move a little faster. let's see if I can craft something. See, like right here I have a chance to get a confused proc. And right here I have a chance for freezing. Or just ice or fire. I'm not sure what determines which ones you can equip or not. Right, which items you can use. So here's one with defense down. I hear this is supposed to be really good for bosses since the bosses don't stagger. I think they're all just, you know, big walls. So I think that actually is supposed to come in handy later on. But the attack on this sucks, so I'll have to test that out later. But yeah, that's basically the gist of how it works. Most of it is pretty self-explanatory. It's not as difficult to play this blind as I thought. I thought that this would be more difficult to play like that, but so far it's actually been pretty simple. That's basically the gist of the mechanics. One last thing before I go. So you have story missions, and a lot of these don't have rewards, but they also are good places to get drops, so it can be beneficial to go back and do these later. And if a mission is yellow, then that means you're done with it, you've gotten all the skills from it. At that point, you pretty much just choose the one that has the monster that you're trying to hunt for whatever you're trying to craft. So I kind of want to make another one of these swords. I kind of want to make another one of these so that I can put the defense down on it. Probably dismantle the other one. So this one tells me to fight the Slayer at Advance into Darkness. So you go back there and you fight them, and that will help you to craft the weapon. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and stop there. Like I said, I'm uploading this ahead of the backlog because I know that they're doing the half-off sale for another 2 days. So if you guys like it, I think the game is pretty fun. I hear it has some pretty big progression blockers, but I mean, it is kind of a hunting game and beat-em-up hybrid, so it's not too uncommon to have that. You know, sometimes you have to grind in a hunting game to take a monster down in a timely manner, especially if you're not good at it or you haven't learned the attacks. The game is a little stiff. The dodging feels a little off. It's not as responsive as it should be, but the combat itself is actually pretty good. I like the customization. I think that's what sets this game apart from other stuff, is that you have heavy customization that you can use, and you can really make your own build. Even though I'm only like 3 hours in and I already have some ideas for some cool builds that I can make. I think that in itself is pretty awesome. So if that's your thing and you're looking for something that you haven't played before, I mean, honestly, there's not a whole lot of games like this, then $15 for this is actually a pretty good deal so far. Anyway, I'll catch you guys later. Peace.